So we were starting it off. It's the end of the year. We were doing a wrap up, but just to start rogue, we were talking sex symbols. What sex symbols are we talking here? Katie, we'll start with you.
My top sex symbol?
Yeah.
Like a human?
Yeah, just like someone that's no. I mean it could be non-human, whatever you want.
Fictional.
Like things that come to mind. I'll tell her.
Oh yeah, handsome man, Maverick, mustache.
Specifically in that one,
he wasn't
jacked. As hot in Footloose because he was like uncoordinated with dancing, and I wasn't really about that.
Yeah, he's someone I'd like to douse in olive oil and throw down a slip and slide.
I've heard that. Yeah, that you would do that to people.
Sonam, sex symbol.
It's an oldie but a goldie. I'm a Dua Lipa fan. So,
Dua!
Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
Is it
2024 Dua Lipa,
Is it her 2018 hip dance that really sent it for you?
Maybe that's what seeded it, perhaps.
Well, mine's actually quite similar. My sex symbol is Duolingo, specifically the...
I know what it is. You just like those little micro adjustments. You haven't.
Liam, sex symbol for the year. What's top of the charts?
Be nice.
Oh, it's gonna be some anime. It's like, it's Android
it's the
6.
fucking grandma from Dan to Dan. I'll tell you that.
No way it is. It's Momo from there. It's the chick with the green. She was on one of our graphics.
Is she Dan to Dan
I'll
as
bring it
well?
up.
The main character is who you have a basic.
We might comp this in later, but the most unexpected sex symbol of the year had to be Luigi Mangione.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, Luigi.
Luigi.
Oh my God.
To the point where, check this out. I'm on Spotify last night.
Wait, what?
I'm on Spotify last night, and I'm looking for a Luigi Mangione podcast. I'm like, I want to go deep, and it's got someone's made a playlist. Luigi Mangione vibes, love hearts, knife. If he's a serial killer, then what's the worst that could happen to a girl who's already hurt? Songs are Happiness is a Butterfly, Criminal, Zombie, I Can Fix Him. Now that's a sex symbol.
This, I mean, we don't want to dive into it on the pod, but man, what a story. If you're not following the Luigi case, this is amazing stuff here.
I heard Luigio's Mansion, and I was like thinking this was a game for your
Nintendo
kid.
Switch game? No.
Don't even know who we're talking about.
All right, guys, welcome back to It's Just Coffee.
Coffee.
Normally I'd start off by doing a little bit of it's Rohan Cooke and it's Kirk Pearson, but unfortunately, this is a bit of a memoriam today. Kirk
Died.
is no longer with us yet. No, he's got a bad chest infection, and this guy's off. He was messaging us, and then he just disappeared for 3 days. He was like, he cancelled a pod, then he just disappeared. We were genuinely worried. I messaged him like, mate, do you need me to come over? Are you all right? Just silence. He must be out.
His partner's away as well overseas at the moment, so it can't be good for him.
Oh, man flew without the partner. He's done.
And I can't
do anything.
He's not a communicator.
The only way to get through a man flu is to complain about it relentlessly to someone about how bad it is. So he must be really crumbling over it.
Jeez, imagine getting on the end of his man flu, though. The complaints. Wow.
Anyhow. All right, so today with us, we've got some very special guests. We've brought on a crew here, the team. We've got my best friend, my business partner, Sonam Sherpa.
Hey.
I don't know why I keep getting invited back.
We've got our social expert lead, Katie Payne.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Katie from past episodes that we did with Georgia Ellis, latte artist extraordinaire from Perth. And of course, we've got our producer, our hunk. And if we're talking about sex symbols, it's this man right here, Liam Conroy.
Oh, yeah.
For those not watching, he is flexing. He is looking good. He is glistening. So I think we will start off the pod just to do it. We'll do the regular, I'm Rohan Cooke, but then everyone just needs to go around and say their name. So
I like that.
I'm Rohan Cooke.
I'm Sonam Sherpa.
I'm Katie Payne.
I'm Liam Conroy.
And it's just coffee. This is our end of year wrap up. This is coming to you on New Year's Eve. And we just thought we'd throw together a few of our favorite lists, a few of our favorite things, whether it's the coffees we've had, the experiences, our client interactions, and we'll just go through them with that. How does that sound for everyone here today?
I'm into that.
I love it. I love it.
I'm into it, but I first need to mention how good's Liam's new laptop. Thanks, Thanks, Eco Barista.
Legit, our first sponsor.
Oh, yeah. Do I need to do a sponsor run in here?
Absolutely.
I reckon I could just do one off my heart.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's just throw it to Sonam today. You got 30 seconds. I'm going to start a timer right now. And then in that 30 seconds, I want you to get across everything. And I've had my timer going. It's at 1,407 hours.
Show the
Reset. Oh, it's gone now. Okay, ready and go.
Having Eco Barista as a sponsor was the most logical sponsorship you could think of. See this bag? Where do you think this came from? This came from Eco Barista. You see this love? Where do you think this came from? This came from Eco Barista. The best thing that we ever could have had when we were speaking, Russ and I were chatting early days, and he said to me, guys, if I was to make a podcast, this is the podcast I'd make. Could you get a better sponsor? I don't think so. I think that's as good. That's as clean as it gets. And I'm hoping for some great journeys for the next couple of years. And I'm hoping to really push the boundaries of our packaging.
Cut. Time's up. That's it.
That was pretty good.
Make sure to head to ecobarista.com.au, and with your first purchase, you're going to get 15% off. They do all custom bags. They do cups. They do it all recyclable, compostable.
Wait, did you say 15% off?
I said 15% off at ecobarista.com.au. Great sponsor. Great to have them and ring in the new year with those guys over there. Sonam, well done. That was good. Straight off the heart. It was heartfelt.
When it's fake, it's fake, yeah.
Yeah.
When it's real, it's real. And it's good. We don't get very many opportunities to be able to thank people back. You know, we might do at the end of year with a review or a meeting or something like that. More often than not, it's just me groveling for more money. So it's kind of nice not to have that conversation, and it's just a straight up thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of saying thank yous and doing that, before we dive in, I just wanted to say, what a year. Thank you to everyone who's listening. Thank you to the guys here at the table. Sonam, especially thank you to you. Just recapping the year, I was just having a stop and a think about it. And I was like, man, so much has happened in this year. We've done so much. This is kind of our first year in this space here. We brought on a bunch of new clients. You and I got to fly over to Italy together, had one of the best. That's probably the highlight of the year. Unbelievable.
Between you and I, yeah. as a whole workplace, yeah. It's definitely up there. I think also for us to have that opportunity to see behind the curtain of La Marzocco, and then also for them to see what our capacity was as well, and to increase that. Rohan and I got to finally do the one-on-one with the CEO or the future CEO, whatever his name's going to be or title going to be, Dave, who's the director of La Marzocco Home. We got to sit at a bar and just chew the fat with him and just take the absolute piss out of each other. And that's probably the best client meeting we've ever had.
Absolutely. It was fantastic. We even had, where did we go? There was that seafood place. So we out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, mamma mia.
That was probably the best Italian we had the whole time.
That's hype. That's top 5 best meals of the year.
Yeah, that was unreal. All right, so we're gonna jump in here. I'm gonna start off with my top 3 coffees of the year. This is both from the channel, from the pod, just in general what we had. Number 1, Colombian Anaerobic Obligón. This was brought in by the Australian barista champion Anthony Douglas, and this was the coffee that he used in his world barista champion Anthony Douglas. This is the coffee he used in his routine when he competed, and he brought it in. We got to do a video with him and try it out. These are the coffees that you have where you just like, it's not even coffee. We're in another world. I'm talking grape soda, boysenberry, thick texture, winey.
Say the name again.
It's Anaerobic Obligón is the type of
coffee.
It
sounds like a Greek fraternity name.
yeah. Anaerobic Obligón, Veda.
It's actually a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, do you have, were you ever in a fraternity or?
I was.
Oh my God, do your song. There's got to be a song.
No. There's the sorority chant.
Oh, sorority. Sorry, fraternities.
I was in a business fraternity, which was co-ed. It was called Pi Sigma Epsilon, and we shook hands like this. This is a secret handshake, by the way. I really shouldn't be showing you this, but okay, I need you to put.
Can you put your hand? Yeah, actually, no, you're good. Yeah.
You have to
yes.
Pinky there, and then 2 fingers on the wrist.
Ah, yeah.
That's how you shake. This is the PSC handshake that I was never meant to share, and I'm probably gonna get shunned for this.
I know your sorority's song. Womp 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 womp. All right, coming in with drink number 2. This was an emotional one. This was a beautiful one. We did an Ethiopian coffee ceremony, the traditional coffee ceremony. Coffee, if you don't know, originally comes from Ethiopia. So this is the oldest style of coffee ceremony you can do. That was with Daniel Sayom from Ageo Coffee. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Ageo?
that was a beautiful moment, actually.
That was a beautiful moment. I got to share it with him. He used all of the traditional equipment from his own family, because each family's going to have their own pots and cups and all that kind of stuff. So that was beautiful for him to share that with us. And then the podcast that we did with him, actually got really emotional and really beautiful. He was talking about the horrors that his family's kind of seen over in Ethiopia with the wars that are happening, the loss that he's felt. And it was a really eye-opening experience for all of us here, and really insightful into the coffee industry, something that we should all be aware of and really take note of. That was one of the most special moments of the year. And he's one of the most special people I know. He's got so much love in his heart.
Yeah, and it definitely gives you more gratitude towards what coffee is. Gives you more of an understanding of the ceremonies, the process, the ritual, and all the things that we project onto coffee. We kind of treat it like a commodity to a certain degree, but when it's an actual ceremony and there's something behind it, everything elevates a bit more.
Yeah, it's all about sharing. And
I think that was the first kind of podcast we did, because that was early on when we kind of started this whole journey. But I think that was the first podcast and guest where I was like, oh my gosh, this feels bigger than this. It feels bigger than just the creative endeavor. It felt connected, and like I felt like the message from him and that whole story. I want to really prepare that. That was quite amazing.
And coming in at number 3, I'm dropping in one here from the channel that we haven't even posted, but it's one of those things that we made. And I'm like, how is this not a bigger thing? Because it's amazing. This one is called the Coccacino.
Wait. The third favorite drink for the year is the Coccacino. What's a Coccacino?
The Coccacino. Now get your heads out of the gutter. I can see Katie's face over there.
Hi, barista. Make me a big old Coccacino, please.
An extra large Coccacino. It's a cocktail and a cappuccino brought together. So the thing that we realized in testing is when you're steaming milk, you can add shots of alcohol to the milk, and then you steam it and it changes the texture in no way. In fact, maybe it's silkier. So you can make these beautiful warming, think like throwing in some whiskeys in there. Think about amaretto, rums, all that kind of stuff. Putting it into your milk. We did one with chocolate milk even, like a Cocoa Pop style one. You steam it, then pour it in your espresso, and it's exactly what it says it is. It's halfway between a cocktail and a cappuccino. And that drink is bloody delicious. I recommend anyone give it a try at home. Over the festive season, you could definitely do some kind of Christmas style ones.
Baileys with peppermint.
There you go, Baileys.
Can I interest you in that? Make it a hot chocolate though, maybe not a coffee.
Yeah, well, you could do hot chocolate. There you go. Steam it up together. Do like a mulled coffee kind of hot chocolate situation.
Yeah.
Kudos on the name, because Captail is shit, but Coccacino's great.
Captail.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind Captail. It's not bad. It's not as good as Coccacino though.
I feel like
Captails, woo!
should use the butter washed, fat washed
Whiskey.
spirits.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be wicked.
Now, I'm just going off to you singing that song here. It's just, again, all Sonam deal with in our life is just feeling so old and so millennial that every time we make a reference, all the Gen Z kids around us, all the staff are just like, what are you talking about? And I need to start, I reckon they'd hate it, but I need to start like a list of like mandatory movies, shows, things to see, even more modern ones that I would expect. Like none of these kids have seen Step Brothers.
That's not true.
Well, but
I've
you're a
fallen asleep
millennial.
to it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To be fair, that's kind of the name of the game here. She will put something on, and then doesn't matter what it is, new, old. She's out in 15, I reckon.
Yeah.
Bedtime
I don't know how
stories.
he knows that.
Oh, also these two are dating, by the way.
In case you're
Yeah.
in case you're a certain CEO.
All right, then. All right, then we're jumping into my honorable mentions. So the next one is passion fruit coffee cocktail at Rita's Tiki Room in Italy. So Sonam and I, we stay at a hotel. We just happen to have one of the best cocktail bars in Italy across the road. We pop on in there, instantly start talking. They talk about what we're doing. We show them the coffee videos. Next day, we're doing a full-blown shoot at Rita's cocktail room and Rita's Tiki Lounge. They have two. One's a tiki theme, one's regular. And then we were just mates with the guys making cocktails all day. That was so much fun and like friends for life. Those guys are still messaging us constantly.
Yeah, Massimo, Tiger Mask. There's
Imagine
so many
our
members.
delight being back in the office while these two are in Italy and we're getting this footage that we need to edit for the Golden Brown Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And it's just, you can kind of tell Rowan's like, this is the definitely the fourth take of the same cocktail. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we did 5
Where
cocktails in
this
like a
guy?
2-hour period. Where you in Ree's Hickey Room? And they're really handsome. And the Italians. Oh, with the bubba.
And then the time difference is really coming into play. And it's like 1 a.m. and I'm posting stories still at the cocktail bar and the staff are rolling into work.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was doing that on purpose, by the way.
Wait, is this where you should talk about the fingernail man? Wasn't that the same bar?
Oh
Same
my
bar.
God. So Sonam
Same
went
trend.
viral. Sonam, can you tell us the exact rundown of how you went viral over in Italy?
Rohan and I are no strangers to filming drinks, cocktails, coffees, however you want to say it. We're on a tour of Florence. We're getting guided by the La Mazzocco crew. They're taking us to coffee bars, to wine bars. And then they go, hey, there's this guy over there that does shots. But he doesn't just do normal shots. He's like an alchemist. He's like a wizard. And we're like, all right, this has piqued our interest. It's about 11:30 in the morning, and Rohan and I look at each other. We're like, well, it's summer. We're on vacation. Let's go test this guy out. We get there. No one's there. They're like, there's usually a big line. There's like a massive line to get in. You won't, or he's not open. We're like, all right. So we get there. This guy's got like long grey hair. He's got fingernails that look like they're from Mordor. He's a little bit elfish. Maybe that's your type. And he makes this drink, multiple layers, starts twisting it, starts dropping things on top of it, and then presents it and puts it on top of a bottom-lit pedestal, and you can see a tornado.
Wait, talk about his dropping the drops on though.
Yeah, okay. So I make this video, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is all right. It'll go okay. And then Rohan's obviously he's akin to getting millions of views all the time. My personal TikTok, not so much. You, definitely. And like we're looking at it the next day, and we're like, oh, yeah, the nails are a bit gross. We'll pull up an image of the nails. They're filthy. They're like calcified. They look like they're about to fall off
They've got
into
that
the
like
drink.
mold thing on it that you have to treat. Like that stuff where you're like fingernails like rotting.
Pirates.
And he's got his finger.
Waterlogged nails.
Yeah, he's got his finger on top of the mouth of the dripper, and he's just dripping on drops on top of
That's
that
why it
drink.
tasted so good.
Yeah.
There's like, you look at the video, there's like chunks of floating. That's not what you think it
Fingernail
is.
parts in there.
Pirate ASM, like
Top 5
ASMR.
drinks of the year, though.
Oh, absolutely. How many million did you get?
It's not
That's-
like
I think-
tingly though.
Yeah.
2.1 million, and I think I grew about 4,000 followers.
Which is amazing because the rest of your content is like just like you and your kids and that. And I love that people are like seeing this video, clicking on your profile and being like, I got to follow what this guy's doing.
I actually remember very vividly, like it was my first week working here, and you followed me on TikTok, and I looked at your TikTok, and you had it's 1:15, and it's him being drunk on the couch. And I was like,
Yeah,
I like
but for those who are in the Melbourne area, it was the song is "And I Need You Now," and then when you swiped across, it was Smith Street Kebabs, which is the go-to 1 a.m. when you're on Smith Street. Just hook yourself up with a dirty
My
kebab.
favorite part about that TikTok was that like I'm laying on the couch, and in the background is like my daughter's bike. Look like absolute trash. Claire's like, you shouldn't post that. I'm like, nah, I'm putting it up.
All right. The other honorable mentions that I was going through. So there was that passion fruit one. Something that didn't go super viral or go crazy, but as a drink was just delicious, was the Vietnamese coconut coffee, which is the blended ice coconut cream. You make like this coconut sorbet and then pull a double shot over it. It's like a refreshing affogato. Unbelievable. That's something people need to be doing more of. I reckon it could be an amazing signature drink in the summer for any cafes out there. If you're a cafe, feel free to use it. I'm not a taker, I'm a sharer. Get on the Vietnamese coconut. And I reckon you could batch that stuff, right? You could batch that coconut ice cream stuff and just
that's
throw it
something
in.
with our content where it's like, there's so many coffee recipes, and you just want to look. Sometimes you're like, were they a flop? Was it just for the laugh? But this one was actually so delicious. I didn't think coconut would be that good.
Yeah. And if you don't want it with the coffee, you could also do it if you did it with like a spritz of like lemon juice. It was incredible. It was like
Lemon juice.
Yeah. Anything.
It's like a pina colada. It was
Yeah.
I
unreal.
can't believe I haven't had this yet.
Yeah.
So good. Make it a bit later. It's super easy.
It tastes like a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's really
And that's
good.
and I don't think there's many, like obviously there's a lot of drinks that taste like a holiday, like a pina colada, but this one without the booze, that's a pretty good effort.
Yep. Then my final honorable mention for great coffees that we had. This one speaks to some guests that we had. We had the boys from Good Measure come in, and they were talking about their viral Mont Blanc. Now, these guys told us that they were selling 500 Mont Blancs a day during the week.
A day.
And then 800 a day on the weekend
Insane.
of this Mont Blanc. And I hadn't had one at the time. And I was like, I'm going in. I'm going to have this thing. I'm like, it's not going to be good. It can't live up to the hype and it can't do it. And obviously, not this mind-melting thing, but when I had it, I was just like, holy crap. That is delicious. So well balanced. The guys have a background in making cocktails and doing that. So nothing was over the top. You know how often these signature drinks are sickly and kind of maybe like after 2 sips you've had enough. This is like a well-made cocktail and it tastes delicious.
It's never enough. We actually got one, waited for it, left, and within 5 minutes, Liam had finished it. And he's like, we have to go back and get another one. I didn't enjoy that enough.
Yeah.
Or like you didn't savor it enough, I should say. So yeah.
I want to add to that actually. We all went down there and we had a little, dabble at the beautiful establishment itself. And I think the cherry on top was we got the beautiful cocktail style drink, the Mont Blanc with the shaved nutmeg and the citrus on top. But then as we're leaving, we're jumping back to the car. We look to our right and there is a moped that is like ripping a wheelie.
Food delivery moped. An Uber food delivery with the big square box thing on the back.
The box is almost touching the ground. Sparks are flying. Honestly, in my heart they were. But anyway, it just casually, just ripping it in the middle of the day. It wasn't even like a, party time.
Imagine the person getting their ramen delivery and they're just like, what the hell happened? It's just everywhere.
Honestly, I think that made the Mont Blanc taste just that little bit
There
better.
were sparks in my memory too, Liam.
Honestly,
100%.
ridiculous.
I painted them in.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to jump to a little section. These are the biggest fails of the year for coffee for me. The first one is an external trend that happened. And I have to say I was part of it. I made it. But the cracking cup, what a load of dog shit. Sorry for the swearing. But like the dumbest, like gimmicky thing that you've ever seen. All it stands off is basically you take a plastic cup, also stop wasting plastic cups. You line it with melted chocolate, let it set and freeze. And then when you get your drink in it, you squeeze it and it makes a cracking sound. In no way does the chocolate mix in the drink. You just have chunks of chocolate floating in your drink.
Not to mention you did this trial like 10 times before we got it right. We broke so many cups trying to get it right.
When you'd squeeze and crack, that if your cup was full, it would just spill your drink everywhere.
It made no sense.
Stupid trend. And I think that was one of the biggest fails of the year. Because you want to see, like I'm talking about with the Mont Blanc, you want to see quality and a good drink when you're doing these signature things, not gimmicks.
Only winners.
Number 2, success yet fail, is the Vegemite latte.
Oh.
I never tried it.
You don't need to try it. See, I thought it was quite clearly, obviously I made a video saying that in Australia, we drink Vegemite lattes. It's a classic. Some people got in on the joke, but some people just didn't get the joke and were like, this is not a thing. I've never seen this before. And I'm like, quite clearly to any Australian, this is the joke, right? But maybe my acting was just so good in me showing the demonstration of how to make it.
Yeah.
For those that haven't seen it, it's no.
I was gonna say no. Your acting was fine. It was a tangent. I was gonna say
No.
Australians are always like we always take the piss. We're so sarcastic, and then they just completely miss the mark on that one.
They completely miss it because I said as well at the start, I'm like, Americans don't know we drink Vegemite lattes.
Yeah.
It's served in pretty much every
Like,
cafe.
Don't let this guy fool you. He's full of shit. And it's like,
and it was just like mix Vegemite in with your espresso, pour it like a flat white. And then, of course, it's a breakfast meal. So it comes with toast soldiers on the side as well. And you dunk it in your coffee. Went crazy. Multi-million views. Not only that, PR. It was everywhere. Kyle and Jackie O drank it on their show. We had Talkback Radio call in Anthony Douglas, the World Barista Champion, to give his thoughts on it. It was featured across multiple websites. Crazy. Speaking of things featured across multiple websites, the last fail, the spring onion coffee, the scallion coffee. Clearly, I set that one up as like, this is like a stupid thing that's come out of China that we're doing as a joke. I'm still getting messages today. NBC in America are wanting to run it on their New Year wrap. At the end of the new, it was on the news. It was featured everywhere. It's in the New York Post, and that one spawned hundreds of remakes of making
real
that.
bad.
and how's that? It's literally the same concept of the Vegemite latte.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one's drinking the spring onion coffee, but everyone's like, we got to try it. It's like,
Yeah.
couldn't you just like think about that for a second? It's going to
Hold on.
taste horrible.
Maybe
Was,
I did
was this
set-
a switch up? Like, you know how we were like, we made obviously the gimmicky Vegemite thing. Was that like,
China were like, well, I think
like-
it was. I think it was an April Fool's joke from China.
Yeah.
okay.
But
They do-
everyone's like,
they do
no,
heaps.
looks real.
Yeah.
They do
Cool.
chicken feet. They do it all, yeah.
And I
Yeah,
want
right.
people to know I'm not an idiot it's making content. We know that these things, it's like something funny that happens online. So we're jumping on. And our whole thing was, I think this is, a joke coming out of China, but I got to make it and try it. Like, that's all it is. Everyone's like, does he actually think this is going to taste good?
Oh.
This is just me venting about all the dumb comments I have to deal with every day.
I remember when we did it because we did another version Outback and I tried it, had a really good big old swig. And it was essentially like if you blended a spring onion Pringles can into a drink and poured it
You mean
over
the
ice.
sour cream and onion?
Sour cream and onion, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Spring onion.
Good flavour.
Great flavour.
Best flavor.
Not great when it's creamy and over
Doesn't need
ice.
coffee.
You took one sip and then you reeked of onion for like 4 hours after that. One
Sorry,
sip.
not sorry.
It was hot.
All right. So as we move into the new year, New Year's Eve right here, I'm going to give you my top predictions. This is what's going to happen in coffee in 2025. All right.
Love it.
Instant coffee, the boom. Instant coffee is still one of the most drunk coffee beverages in the world. We're going to see increase in quality in it. We're going to see specialty instant coffees, different types and different varietals, especially with the price increase of coffee around. People are going to be leaning more on instant coffee as we move forward. At-home coffee, the boom is continuing now, but will continue to grow. Machines are getting cheaper. They're getting better. There's more assistance, so you can get that classic 1-to-2 kind of ratio espresso out of them. We'll see that boom again, coffee prices and that. It's easier to make it at home. Signature drinks. We will see that cafes are going to continue to make signature drinks. I'm going to say that's going to be mainly in an iced type of coffee. It's not enough anymore just to have like good quality coffee. You need to be doing something more to draw in crowds. And we're going to see that there's too many cafes now to just have good coffee. Co-fermented coffee. Kirk would love this. I'm glad he's not here. We'll see that rise because it kind of leans more into the world of specialty coffee. And I think Australians have a bit of an aversion to syrups in their coffee. I think they feel like it's an American thing and that they don't want to do it as much. Katie, you would say, but I would say Americans, like having some pump of syrup in your coffee is like not even a question. It's just what you do.
Pumps, yeah.
Yeah. So I think co-ferments are going to bring that flavor experience into coffee, and we'll see the growth of that going. Concentrate espresso. I think we're going to see pre-batched espresso. I think we're going to see it sold in supermarkets, and I think we're going to start seeing cafes integrate it. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2025 you start seeing some espresso bars that don't even have an espresso machine.
Oh.
Finally, AI in coffee. This one is 100%. We will see the growth of it used in shipping coffee, in green beans. We're going to see it in everything from the machines that you're using, monitoring your extractions and your flow rates. I've spoken to some people that are integrating AI into cafes, and they're saying even the best cafes that you're going to, I'm talking the ones with the World Barista Champions and all this, are only extracting their coffee at like a 60 to 70% efficiency and quality level. So regardless of how good you are as that singular one barista as a human, there is always human fault. And across a day, there's going to be like only 70% extraction. And when I say that, I mean 100% would be it's perfect dose yield every single time. They're only hitting about 60 to 70% of that. So their coffees are out 30% of the time.
What does that mean for baristas?
I think that it means for baristas, I think people still want to see baristas behind the bar, but I think it allows smaller places that it's harder to get baristas to run efficiently. Think about hotels. Think about places where you're not getting world-class baristas. You're going to be making really high-level quality, especially with the automatic milk frothers and foamers and that kind of stuff coming in. You got the Uber milks. I think we can see baristas maybe get pulled back on a bit, but I think it gives baristas more of a chance to speak, stand up for the coffee, know the coffee, talk to the customers. I know when I worked as a barista in busy cafes, the last thing I wanted to do was talk to a customer because I had a docket line of 30 things lined up. So I think it gives you that freedom to be able to go there and talk. But with the amount of coffee shops we're seeing pop up today, there just isn't enough baristas to go around anyway. So I don't think it's something where you're losing your job. There's not enough people out there to be able to make high quality coffee everywhere. Sonam, you do a lot of deep dives into AI and that. What do you think? What are some of your predictions with AI and coffee moving forward? What do you think the effect it'll have?
My reading is more so it's the analytical part. So my understanding of AI at the moment is that it's all based on the data you feed it. So I'd like to see it being adopted by cafe owners where they could try and feed as much of their own data into it, where it helps them with staffing, rostering, It also helps them with their ordering. All those things that you can shave off a couple of cents, a couple of dollars here and there, help increase profitability across the board. But we've spoken about with Jamie about profitability and automation and a few other things. A lot of people are putting automation down to the machine itself, but the software in those AI formats, that's where all the money is to be made or saved, I think.
Think about it. If you have data from multiple years, and people already do with Square, with their sales, right? This isn't like, oh, AI is new. They've got the data from years in the past. You can have ordering systems that are going to predict what you need to have in your shop. They can even warn you, being like, hey, remember, it's blah, blah, blah weekend coming up. The last 3 years, you saw a 70% increase in sales of this. You need to order more milk. You need to order more bread. Whatever it is, they can predict what's going to happen and see those cycles that play out to shave off that efficiency from the cafe. Jesus, Liam, just having a choke attack over there.
Yeah, it's not all robots like everyone's thinking. That's not the way it's going to work. It's going to be in those things that can streamline and speed up a lot of that.
No, I reckon it's going to be the robots, because you showed me that video of the robot arm doing their latte art. If a cafe had that, I'm in. You want crowds? Get a robot arm.
So I would say that throwing to you two, I would say you're more, no offense, layman in the coffee world of like doing things.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like that experience of like, do you just care about the quality of the coffee? Do you care about the experience? Like, let's say you're going in and it's an Eversys machine, right? That pretty much makes the coffee for you and the barista just goes, there it is. If that coffee, let's say it's better than a barista making it by hand, would you prefer that by hand experience or?
No. No, because there's novelty in it. Like it wouldn't just be like, wait, you're talking about the robot arm still?
Or just any form of like a machine making your coffee. Let's not say novelty. Let's just say if an automated machine can make a better coffee for you on average than a barista, and there'll still be a barista there. It's not like you're not going to talk to someone. But do you need to see the barista putting the basket in the grinder, putting it in the machine?
It would come down to the cost. If it's the same cost, I'd be like, no. But if it was way cheaper and as good, then I'd probably be down. I'm from America though, so coffee's pretty shit.
What about same price but better?
Because from a machine?
From most cafes, I would say that some of the high-end automated machines are on consistency level going to make better coffee than baristas in a cafe.
I think I would come down to, I guess, the story and the ingredients used. So like, you know, that whole thing of like you're using automation and machines to get the best yield out of something. And they're like, oh, well, we can now cut costs by using a lower quality thing, but we're getting the most out of it. I would want the opposite. I'd still want that specialty blend. I'd still want that like range of options.
Yeah,
with
and you can still get it. And there's still a barista there that can tell you what the coffee is. It's just that they're not jamming a portafilter in a machine.
I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is like the education and skill set of the barista. It's like you want to go somewhere that you know that they're going to deliver the most beautiful thing. And if we can trust kind of AI to kind of deliver the best quality, that's the best. I was about to ask you as well on like the pre-batching espresso and like that becoming more available, similar to how, you know, you go to a hairdresser, you go to like these places that didn't normally have access to coffee. Now they've got coffee machines and they assume that someone can make you a coffee. Will this also dilute this whole like lack of education because there's more access to this thing? You know what I mean? Like there's, you know how he's saying we need more baristas, that we'll always need more baristas. Having these like pre-batched beautiful espressos, we still need to know how to texture milk, or is that the next thing with machinery? It's like we get automated milk texturing things.
Look at it, everything from at home with the NanoFoamer Pro all the way to Uber Milks in cafes. Like their consistency be better. I mean, I've been too close to it. I've worked in the best cafes in Melbourne and still 60% of our baristas were not great. And if I was like, I'd be furious if I'm standing doing pouring and I've got the guy next to me that can't texture milk and it's always that little bit extra foamy and that little bit extra what. We obviously had dream teams, like when me, Sonam, our friend Alika, and that would be behind the machine. It was like a dream, but it's impossible to have a cafe with 2 machines is serving 1,000 people running 7 days a week and have every single barista be at that elite high level.
I think, okay, this is my final thought on that. If it's a machine in like an office setting any gas station, the hairdresser, I'm down for that. I don't think you need a barista, but if I'm going out, you can actually charge me a lot more. It's like the difference of getting pre-made takeaway sushi versus going to a sushi restaurant and watching someone make it for you.
I think it's kind of like, I always think Apple was amazing at this with their technology that they brought out. There can be innovation, but people want to see it in a familiar context, right? So you bring out a place where Apple has failed in that is like their VR goggle things. What's it called? The Vision or whatever it is.
Apple Vision.
No one wears those on their head. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. You look weird. It doesn't look normal. But where Apple did win is the iPhone. The iPhone is a computer, but people had phones in their pocket before. So all of a sudden you transform that phone into something familiar. If you go back to the original iPhone, YouTube, the icon for it was an old TV. The keyboard used to be a typewriter and make the sound of a typewriter. The voice demo thing used to be a cassette tape thing because it was bringing people into understanding what these things did. The same with the Apple Watch and how you wear it. It's a watch. You wear a watch on your wrist. I think we're going to see AI integrated, and I think especially in Australia, in a way where it looks and feels familiar. So basically the barista is picking up a portafilter. They put it in the grinder. The grinder then weighs it out for them, tells them the exact weight. They don't do anything. Then they put it in a puck press and it presses it down. Then they put it in a machine that is weighing your coffee, watching the flow rate, checking the yield. And then the machine goes, oh, this ran too fast. It sends a signal to the grinder that then automatically dials it and changes it. And then the barista goes over, gets the automatic steam, and then they pour it. So there's those human elements of basically just hands moving the stuff. And that feels familiar to a customer. And it feels like craft. But in reality, every step of that process is automated.
Here.
It's just a matter of time, right? It's just integration now. Like I feel like AI and like all these like kind of models are like already at this incredible level. It's just, we're just waiting for that kind of
It'll also come down to relative affordability, I think. Like if you can afford to install one of these things. I was up recently in Queensland filming the Eversys with the robot arms that make the coffee from start to finish. I think they were saying it was probably about $100,000 for that whole setup. You could, if you manage to get that whole setup into a venue for $20K, mate, it'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to do it. I'm putting 5 of them in. I'm putting one for every milk, one for every blend. I'm going all in.
Yeah.
I mean, a serious coffee machine, like a big La Marzocco, a big like whatever, they're already a massive hit. Like, you know.
And they're just a machine.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah.
Liam, who are we jumping to next? Is it you?
Can be me.
Have you got some thoughts for us here today?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for me behind the desk, you know, I've got like a couple, I'm just going to chat about some favorite guests, some favorite moments.
Podcast moments. We've got some podcast moments.
This is the behind the scenes kind of listicles. So I reckon favorite guests. Jade Jennings was on the top. She had my heart because she brought out this beautiful spread. And like none of our guests, they always bring in like a coffee or something. We're here to talk about coffee, but Jade brings in.
Step it up.
She brought in,
is this a call out?
She brought in sourdough.
Sourdough, like homemade bread.
Sauerkraut.
She had sauerkraut. Yeah. The jam. She had like a whole spread. And I thought that was the sweetest. She had a good old chat. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't think it's appropriate. Cut that out.
Jealousy. Jealousy is striking.
No, I'm going to keep that.
She's just kicking in that you're never making Liam sourdough bread, are you?
I was going to say everyone had a crush on Jade Jennings, but you can't use that, so take that out.
I mean, you can. Absolutely.
No, keep it in. It's in. I'm, as the podcast host, I say it's in.
As it's becoming quite apparent, Katie is an alpha male in a female's body.
And then I reckon early on we're in the middle of this is just a moment that I wrote down, but we're in the middle of it was Brew Boys episode, and we're standing there. We're in the middle, we're in the thick of it, and I remember, I'm not sure if you noticed, but there just happened to be a body that walked past, and we kind of paused in the middle of a chat. And it's like, excuse me, that was Joe Jonas walking past.
Still one of my biggest regrets, because I should have just gotten up, and I don't think, because I'm the type of guy that just, when life presents, you just go for it. And I was like, run and get him. Like get him. And everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, I'm dead serious. This dude loves coffee. Like this dude is a coffee nut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a huge coffee drinker guy. And he's just out there. He was like trying to look in the window, like what the hell is going on in there? He absolutely would have walked in at least for 2 seconds and just be like, hey
and then
guys.
we could have seen all their Disney knees.
What?
Disney's?
You guys don't know Disney knees.
No, what's Disney knees? Okay, Katie is standing up.
Thinking about you, thinking about me.
Oh,
Yes. I've
Jonas,
seen
I wanna see your
there's
Disney
compilations of this where like that's the Disney move. So like any kind of child rock kind of kid in any of the movies, that's their move when they're on stage.
oh, like the Elvis knees.
Yes, the Elvis knees. Yeah.
Disney knees. Look it up.
These knees.
I think there's footage of the Goz doing it, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Gosling.
Yeah.
I also have a confession.
Oh,
So
I got another confession to make.
so Spotify Wrapped came out.
Oh my God! What anime bullcrap are we gonna get here?
No.
Oh, we weren't your number one pod.
No, he actually was. Of course it was.
Oh, thank God.
Speak.
Yeah, no, please keep guessing.
Alpha is alphaing hard right now.
Alphabet.
I'm really looking forward to the coffee break when Katie's gone and it's just me and Liam.
Me too. So Spotify Wrapped came out, and I kind of, whenever I'm editing, I'll be sitting at the desk, and I might have like another song going. Like, so when we're not here, filming, I'll be kind of in the back behind the desk. And I went through a period where there was a Joe Jonas song called The Waffle House. And I put that on, and I think I must have had it going for, I'm going to blame this on leaving it going for maybe a day. But my Spotify Wrapped came out, and my top artist and my top song was the Jonas Brothers, The Waffle House. And it was like, you are a 0.0005% listener. And I looked at that and went, wow. Anyway, so, a true fan apparently.
No, there's no shot that's blamed on just one day. That's you just hammering that song.
It's true, I
Well,
did.
said you listened to
It's
it
a banger.
53 times. And I'm like, pretty sure that happened in about a day or two. You had that shit on repeat.
I did. I really did. Okay. And then I think another little moment to chat about was Zach Stubb, Let It Cook. I mean, I know you missed this episode, but we had, an amazing Olympic swimmer come through and talk about his kind of new specialty coffee company. And, there's me and Kirk holding an actual Olympic gold medal. And trying out his amazing coffee. You were talking about the co-ferments. I can't believe it's Christmas next week. Oh, no, sorry. This is...
No,
this
it's
is
New
coming
Year's
out.
Eve. What are you
It's
talking
New Year's
about?
Eve. It's New Year's. But, I kind of left that pod being like, what a legend and what a prop to hold. And also what awesome coffee. The co-ferments that we tried were like so funky and fun. And I kind of want to gift all of them to my family and friends. And then, okay, my last few things were my favorite music segment that I got to cook up. I really enjoyed the writing the news segment. I'm just going to play it right now. I'm just going to do it. Because what you can hear in the background, obviously, there's a piano.
And we're back today with...
Yeah. In all of the music segments, there's little sound bites from sampling the coffee machines that,
love that.
Obviously get reviewed on Golden Brown and everything like that.
Isn't there Morse code in one of them too?
Yeah, that one. That one's, it's just coffee. Yeah, that one.
That's Morse code.
Yeah.
What's the Morse code? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's
News?
Yeah, I wrote it out. It's just coffee. This is the news.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So if anyone's time traveling and from the 1940s,
Yeah.
listen in.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's there. I knew it. I figured that out.
I don't want to jump on your toes there, but did you have any other top pods or that kind of moment? Because I thought I'd just jump in. If if you've only been listening recently and thinking about maybe going back, some of the top ones that are really good. If you want like fun, good chats, kind of comedy going in that side, I think Bangin' Sangers was good. I think Breakfast Shirts was really good. Mark, Jen Fricker, Australian icon comedian. I want to get more comedians and people coming on next year. We had Eliza reach out. Who's a really well-known comedian in the States, is like,
Yeah.
I want to come do some videos when I'm in, but I think, I'm not sure if the
Eliza,
timing
if you're
will-
watching this by chance,
if you're just
welcome.
watching this coffee podcast, if you want to dive into like coffee kind of stuff. I think Ross Quayle was really good. I think Dan Dick does a lot of great stuff talking about running a cafe and what it's actually like getting into that kind of thing. Who else?
Jack Simpson was quite a good
Jack
conversation.
Simpson was really good.
Yes.
Yep. Really enjoyed his conversation. So there's a few highlights if you just want to go back into the archives and dig deep. They're really great episodes.
And then I guess my other things were just like the creating the graphics, you know. I do like kind of the hands-on there. And
I dropped the ball on this for a couple of weeks. I was in a motel at like 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night trying to punch one out.
Yeah.
No assets. I couldn't find them online.
And I'm like, in a motel on a Tuesday night.
Holiday Inn.
Where else would I be?
Yeah. For context, everyone, me and KP, we were away. And so I delegated. I wasn't able to get all the graphics done before we went away. So Sonam stepped up to help me out. And he didn't know that he couldn't find the project. So he had to make all the graphics from scratch. And yeah, I think you can tell, you know?
I will say, not to get into the business side of things, but, part of our interview reviews will be about us working better on handoffs as people leave the office.
I was showing Claire the graphics last night because I was just talking about it. She goes, no, look, you get a good sense of what's happening in the pod.
Supportive partner.
Yeah.
I really like the banging sang as well.
Oh, God.
The love hearts, they're great.
Yeah. But I think my favorite graphic just has to be my integration of Dan to Dan for the coffee break. Actually, to say this as well, going through the editing process and getting me cutting you guys out as assets is one of the funniest things to ever go through. We should stream it because it's, that is just moments.
Having to clear cut Rohan off a white background with grey hair is an absolute fucking nightmare.
Tell me about it.
We need to shoot it on a different colour. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You'd be so good to cut out.
You wouldn't have to cut me out.
I know. Just
automated.
Yeah, automated. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Yeah. And then I reckon,
the people who aren't watching, Sonam is bald. Is if you're not watching, that's what we're talking about here. You could cut that out. Yeah, that's the sound of his head
you can hear
being slapped on the microphone.
That's exactly what that was for.
For comparison, Liam, could you slap your head with hair next to the mic?
Second.
So that's that. Could we get the? So yeah, you can hear the difference there. Just
the soundbite to our episode, the intro section.
You guys ever play
a slow motion?
Do you guys ever play the game Crispies growing up?
no.
So you'd come up to someone and you just look at them and you'd be like, oh, wow, Katie. And you just slap him on the forehead and try to get the cleanest sound possible. Unbelievable
The
game.
original dap that goes over the forehead.
Is it Crispies?
Crispy. Yeah, I'd have to say the crispiest.
What did you say? Quispies? Oh, that's Katie's knee clicking.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Katie's
everyone
knee
quiet.
is
Hang on,
broken.
let's get it again. Oh.
This would be the perfect time to crispy her. I need consent in this day and age.
Go on.
Go on.
Oh, crispy. We're
Is this
crispying
consent?
live on the pod.
Is this consent? No, we've got a meeting with Kitchener. No, we can't do it. We can't do it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Mark over the thing.
Liam, is that your wrap? Is that you wrapped?
I will wrap my wrapped up by saying a thank you to you guys. Thanks for putting me in this role in this place. To I guess it's been really fun to kind of begin this creating all this content and to fill this role. I think at the beginning of this, it was like, hey, you sing into microphones professionally. So you'll be fine with this. And but it's been an insane kind of learning curve.
That's exactly how the conversation went down.
Yeah, it's been crazy. From Excel spreadsheets to,
The XLR cables.
Exactly. It's been a beautiful thing. And I'm excited for the new year. I think we're just, honestly, I know this is our first season and we're literally I think we're coming up to our 70th. Yeah. When this comes out, this will be our 70th episode. And that's insane. That's crazy. That's kind of just run by this year.
Beautiful.
But I think this season and the new year coming through, it's going to be crazy.
Just before we segue to the next clip or the next segment, sorry. It is New Year's Eve. Favorite New Year's Eve songs?
Oh.
New Year's songs.
There's none.
Waiting for Tonight?
Waiting for tonight.
Millennium?
Digga digga dip.
Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
That's a New Year's song if you ever heard one.
People, do you not know this? People go, if you start the song Sandstorm X minutes and seconds before New Year, when New Year's hit, the drop hits. And goes,
There's a heap of movies like that too.
Every song, if you think about it.
well, of course you can. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Of course you can. I'm just saying that's what people, what I'm saying is that's what people do.
Yeah. There's
And I
also,
just said do.
there's also 1999. So a lot of the greatest New Year's Eve songs center around the millennium,
Yeah.
which is fair enough. It's a great year. You weren't alive. But there's Waiting for
Yeah,
Tonight,
you weren't
J-Lo,
alive.
Yeah.
Millennium,
Yeah.
and then Prince's 1999.
Yeah.
What do you got for me, Liam? You got a New Year's song?
Well, no, I was going to say that,
The
like,
Jonas Brothers.
Waffle House.
Waffle House. Fucking banger. Absolute banger. I stand by it. It is good. I was actually going to say that you can do that with movies. Some people have like all the climactic scenes in every movie ever, like even like the Titanic. Or
Yeah,
like
if you
anything
time it up here, Leo will die.
Yeah, exactly. You just see them like falling or like, yeah. Anyway, but no, songs. I don't know. Crazy Frog on repeat.
This is lifting the curtain a bit the other day, but I was asking some of the younger kids here at work. I was like, "You guys have kick-ons, yeah?" And they're like, "Yeah. What songs do you hit?" And Harry goes, "Oh, we throw out the Crazy Frog, 5 a.m. Crazy Frog."
Go-to.
All right. Well, Liam, thank you for that rap. And hey, we love you having you on board as well. It's been great. Now
Could not do it without you.
Yeah, literally couldn't. Wouldn't know what I'm doing. KP, we've got K Payne in the house. TikTok superstar. Go follow her at K Payne on TikToker. No,
It's
It's
K-Pain.
K-Pain.
it's K Payne. No, well,
Can you present this in your TikTok voice?
What do you mean?
I'll do it. Hi, guys.
hey guys, it's me.
I'm America.
The difference between Australians and Americans.
Spiders.
Say chicken nugget.
And in that moment, I deleted my TikTok account.
How many followers you got now? You up at 190?
You know what's hilarious? The
You
last time I
lost
was
followers.
yeah, it's went down since the last time I was on the pod. So don't follow me.
Yeah, do.
Don't co-post any of these.
What do you want from me? What am I doing?
I don't know. Tell us about your year. Any raps? I mean, so
yes.
K Payne works with us as kind of like social lead, works with accounts and that kind of stuff. We thought maybe just some of your fun moments from the year.
I mean, there's lots of inside jokes that wouldn't really translate well. So they asked me to prepare my favorite client moments, but instead I thought I would do where I failed the most in life.
What an interesting pivot.
Yeah, I'm here for
My
it.
favorite clients too. This is where I failed everyone.
Actually, no, they're not all, but they're all a bit tragic and just a bit funny. So here we go. I have number 3 spot. So we have a new videographer, and we didn't really know how to pronounce his Greek last name. So obviously, when you don't know how to pronounce someone's last name, you just say it's Kokidopoulos. So we were referring
Actually,
to the
Kirakides, but
but that's too hard. So it's Kokidopoulos.
Coccacino.
Similar.
No.
Yeah. So we're getting
Kokidopoulos.
ready for a client presentation, a pretty big one, I'd say. And I'm going to blame Rohan for this, actually. He typed in the team names and wrote Harry Kokidopoulos. And anyway, we're on this presentation. Realized we never really subbed out the real name. And
who was in charge of that document?
I was new. Ish. So we're scrolling through, and it was like a movie though. So Rowan's going through and then sees the team name page and just swipes past it like nothing went wrong. Just goes, and then you'll see, oh, next page. And the client was like, what was that last name? And we're like, what? Sorry, you're breaking up. So that was that.
Swings by.
Kokidopoulos.
But out of all the names from to see, I swiped past so quickly, and they're like, "What was that Greek name?" And I'm like,
Exactly.
Nothing." They're like, "It looks really interesting. Can we swipe back?" No.
Maybe there's a family connection.
Oh yeah, maybe that's their last
Maybe there's
name.
real Kokidopoulos.
There 100% is.
Hello?
Longalongadus.
Someone's sweeping the stairs upstairs.
All right, in number 2 spot. This is annoying. I used to work for a different social agency, and
Dun, dun, dun.
my first meeting was with a client who, I'm not going to lie, was kind of going off about how things weren't going to plan, and he fired the agency. Can I say that?
Yeah. Was that on your first call?
My first call was like, I'm not loving what's going on. And me as like a new hire, I'm like, this is my fault, obviously. Fast forward, I get a job here, and one of my first client calls. Rohan says, we're going to meet this new client, and it's the same client from the last agency.
So this guy's just fired you and hired you in 2 calls.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, camera off.
He's very blunt too. So what did he say anything funny?
He just goes like, oh, you look familiar.
Or like,
Katie goes, nope.
never met you before. I am new. You've never seen me before. Okay.
And we've had a long-lasting, great relationship. So, you know, all's well that ends well.
Yeah. And then in number 1 spot, this left me in tears for like pretty much 5 hours. I'd say I was a wreck after this. So this is what it's like being a Gen Z in the real world, if you're ever curious. So a client email thread happening, doing some negotiations, right? And privately, one of the members of the thread emailed me and said, damn, she's expensive. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so there was an influencer, right, who sent their rates through to you.
Yeah.
And the client wrote you and was like, holy shit, they're really expensive.
Yeah. I was trying to go more vague with it, but yeah, go on.
Verbatim.
And instead of replying separately, I just hit him with the reply all. So the influencer saw that had been said. And just getting a panicked call from a client saying, oh, hey, take that email back. And I said, I can't do that. So anyway, that's what happened, guys. I sent an email that should never been sent. I forwarded an email that should have never been forwarded, to which I cried for 5 hours.
And you know how this connects back to the pod? We just received the Polaroid, the camera, and someone took a photo of Katie just after she got off that call. It's just absolutely down and out.
Yeah, Rohan
It's
took a
still pinned
photo
on
of
the
me
wall.
and then captioned it, Haiti fucked up or something. And it's pinned on my desk pin board.
Yeah, well, you have to remember those moments. How do you learn? You know, you take it on. I thought, I did some, motivational coaching. I told you, could have been worse. We'll learn from it. We're taking these. Take the photo.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
And then I made her shake it. I was like, here, you shake the Polaroid.
And keep reciting shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Hey, but could have been worse. I don't even know if the influencer ever saw it because it would have been like buried in the email. It would have been
it was
like
a long thread. You really hope they didn't see it.
And who cares? The influencer got paid and did their job and anything. So it was all fine.
In the day, it was also like the conversation was super positive.
Yeah, the email
like,
could have
damn,
been
we really
worse.
want
Like,
them.
so what? You say they're expensive, they're good. It could have been like, this person's content's not even good. Screw them. Let's not work with them. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been me that actually said that because
Yeah.
I've been known to do that.
There was also some amazing Katie Payne moments this year, like meeting her mum.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, Mama Payne.
Yeah.
Hubba.
Pretty much.
My amazing moment is meeting my mother.
Well, you brought her to Australia and flushed her through the healthcare system. It was quite interesting. It was an amazing episode in life.
Yeah.
Whilst parallel running through your Fred Again episode.
Yeah,
It was such a duality of times. The highs, the lows, and
I
the
think
emotional
most people
exhaustion.
don't know that story.
Oh, tell the Fred Again saga.
Most
This is
people,
wild.
no, the
Oh.
real Fred Again story. So you've seen the
when you
TikToks.
hooked up with him.
Well, no.
Oh, sorry, Lim.
So you've seen the TikToks. You know what happened. They took a video of us. They put us on the screen. We went to 3 Fred Again shows. That's the gist. Except what you don't know is that behind the scenes is my mom comes to Australia with a fucked up leg infection.
So laughing off mic. Yeah, come on. Oh, yeah, we're good.
And decides it should be fine. Has an allergic reaction to her antibiotics. We take her to the urgent care, and the urgent care doctor says, if this infection starts going up, you need to go to emergency immediately or you could die. Meanwhile,
Or leg removed.
or leg removed. So we're like, all right.
I'm going to Fred Again.
Literally.
This is the first time
This is
this
first night.
woman.
This is first night. My mom's first time in Australia, first time leaving America.
Yeah, international travel
Night
as well.
1, I'm like, shit, that looks bad. You rest. We're going to go to Fred Again. Next day, I come back from Fred Again at 2 a.m. I'm like, that's looking pretty bad. We got to get you to the emergency. Next morning, take her to her emergency. Leave her there overnight. Got to go to Fred Again. Day 2.
You didn't need to leave her there. You just thought it was convenient.
She stayed overnight in the emergency.
So guys,
Mom, the doctor
your legs
said you
look
have
real
to-
bad.
Anyway,
Katie in the middle of the night kicks her in the shin. Oh, she should probably stay here a little longer,
She
you know?
stayed for 2 nights, conveniently, that all the Fred was happening.
What a trip.
And then I was like, yeah, and I was working so hard here. There's a picture of me like laying on the couch being like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Her soul had left her body. She was just left there, just completely spent.
And then Rowan's like, we're going to take headshots today. And in my headshot, it's the worst photo of me, I think.
To be fair, I mean, the day wouldn't have changed anything.
Do you guys have anything like outside of, the pod and work you want to like, any major wins of the year?
Nope.
The sound of silence.
Too many. I'd have to think about it. But seeing it's New Year's. What are your favorite New Year's moments? What are your favorite New Year's? You got to have one. Everyone's got to have one New Year's moment where you're like, that was the best New Year's of my life.
Oh.
No, New Year's sucks.
Really? Doesn't have a good one.
New Year's is no good. And the nights that are always good are the nights leading up to New Year's. Everyone's getting pumped. Everyone's around. Everyone goes out. You have the wildest nights. Then New Year's come and it's just like such a vibe kill.
Yeah.
I met one of my best friends of all time on a New Year's bender. I think it went for like 3 days. No, it went for like 3 days. It was unreal. The house next door was under construction, so they were away. The party then crawled into next door. People were standing on top of the construction site, still going. And it's one of those ones where I think it was like day 3 of it. Obviously, there was other things in between, but day 3 of it, like we all just looked at the kitchen and went, this has to stop.
I reckon my best New Year's was when I was 16 and I had it at my, my house with my friends over. And that was the first time I got drunk off of half of a cruiser.
Oh, half a cruiser.
And I was like, what's a Mike's Hard Lemonade in
Mike's.
the
They're
US? Good. And I was 16 and I got drunk for the first time off half of a fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade.
All right, let's. Do you have a New Year's story, or are you good?
No, I'm with you. I think New Year's is overrated. I'm always working them.
Yeah.
So my favorite New Year's is when I get paid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're my biggest, best paid gigs.
Sonam, have you put together a little recap for us? What have you got for us?
Well, I mean, I get shafted with the 5 predictions for 2025. So I get to put my head on the chopping block. I get to put my head on the chopping block.
Were you going to slap your head again?
And watch this come back and slap me in the face. So here are my 5 predictions for 2025. I'm going to go more general because Rowan's already covered coffee. So number 1 is more colorful drinks and long mocktails.
Mm-hmm.
So people want sophistication. People want to pretend like they're drinking like a large, long, sparkling margarita without the booze, but they want that out. They don't want it, and they also want it made to a level of sophistication they cannot obtain at home. You're already starting to see it spread all over America with like brands like Cool Sips, Erewhon's doing the smoothies and a few other things. These are things you will never make. You're not going to chuck these things in your NutriBullet and smash it out. It's not going to work. Number 2, pastries are going to go even fresher.
How do you go fresher?
The pastry market is completely saturated, yeah? The only pastry shops that I now go to are the ones that I'm guaranteed a fresh croissant at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going in for a 6-hour-old croissant. I'm going in for, I want it fresh out the oven. And that is the X in the defining brand positioning, in my opinion. So we're going to adopt more of a Parisian model. So you're going to see a lot of bakeries baking smaller batches over the course of the day.
And I think they'll take it even further. I think it's going to be so fresh. It's just like raw dough. I think you're not even cooking it. You're just eating it.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Cold dough. Just flour.
You've heard of cookie dough, but have you ever had croissant dough?
Done.
Number 3, and this one probably speaks to you guys properly, is the fitness ain't going to stop. You're going to see protein mass highly articulated on menus across the board.
Protein coffees.
Yeah, but people are going to be like, what's the protein value of this meal?
Yeah.
People are going to be asking for it explicitly. We went to a cocktail bar recently that was really well done. The menu was beautifully graphically designed, had the ABV broken down, had the ingredients, had everything listed. It was nice. As a conscious consumer, you're like, I know exactly what I'm doing here. So as a conscious consumer in your body, like Liam is.
They actually did that in the US for a while. I don't know if they've stopped. It was when Obama was in office, and I feel like it was part of Michelle's thing, but it would have the macros of every, like at Applebee's and shit like that.
I feel like it had to be, there was some rule with it, right? Like it had to be a chain or franchise or something like that. But those things were bloody good because sometimes like you're out at a menu and you wouldn't even know. You look at something and you're like, oh, maybe I'll get that thing. That doesn't sound bad. And it's like 3,500 calories. Yeah. And then you'd look at something else like the chicken wings and it'd be like 800. You're like, oh, I'll just get the chicken wings. Great.
Always with the chicken wings.
Love the chicken wings.
Number 4, canned drinks. So canning machines are getting really cheap. They're like $800. Yeah, you can have one on your bench top. It's about the same size as that coffee machine in the background there. It's So what I'm thinking is a lot of people are going to be pre-batching a lot of their canned drinks, a lot of that espresso concentrate that Rohan's talking about, having them ready to go. So there's more of a grab and go offer. And you can just imagine cocktails as well, yeah? Everything getting done in cans. $800. That's a no-brainer for me. Number 5, unexpected collaborations were big this year. So like the Heinz and the vodka, the Absolute vodka, they did the sauce. You're now going to have like more unconventional pop-ups, yeah? So think about like Golden Brown collaborating with a bicycle company at a spin class, using the energy from the spin class to pump the espresso machine. And it's going to, and there'll be lures, there'll be triggers, there'll be other things, and there'll be other brands doing more crazy stuff. Lamazocco's looking at doing pit stop coffees at the F1. Amazing, great idea. So more of those. Number 6, which is the wildcard prediction, and this is really fucked up, but the world may run out of coffee next year. So Vietnam and Brazil are both 25% down the last 2 years in a row, and there's a severe drought that looks like it's going to be extended for 2025 and possibly 2026. With the rise of coffee consumption going up and the rate of coffee production coming down, it's pretty obvious
I need
maths.
you to repeat that hook one more time.
The whole way through?
Well, just the wild card trend.
Okay, so the wild card trend is that coffee is going to run out in 2025. Brazil and Vietnam produce 60% of the world's coffee, and they're both down 25% year on year, with the drought expected to continue next year. We're in trouble, and it's getting grim. People need to be more precious with their coffee. And then reflecting on the trends this year that I didn't quite get, pistachio?
Pistachio
Was everywhere.
I've never said that in my life. Pistachio cream.
Yeah, it was everywhere this year.
Pistachio.
Do you guys
It's
like
not
it?
even that good. I bought
Take that back.
a $20 jar that was this big, and we used it for a drink. And I went and I was like, "That's it."
I mean the pistachio butter.
Yeah,
Pistachio
all
everywhere.
over.
I mean, it's just those going off those Italian trends and that. I think pistachio gelato has been like the thing. Like if you're not getting like the base, like that's what you get when you're over in Italy.
I kind of vibe. I'm
No,
a
I
fan
love
of like,
pistachio ice cream.
Nutella,
butter.
hazelnut, and everything. Amazing. I think pistachio is the elite. It's similar to like lime to lemon, pistachio to hazelnut.
Yeah, and then the prediction for the pod next year, 10,000 weekly listeners.
Yeah.
Let's go.
If we don't say it, it won't happen, all right?
Oh, I have a prediction. James Hoffman on the pod.
Oh, that's a good prediction. That's a good prediction.
We need different coffee people from around the world on this pod.
Yeah, we need to. That'll be a good dive for us, getting more of the remote pods where we can do it over Zoom and that. I wonder if we just do one, whether it's like us here today or whoever, and we just do it from a work from home day and just to test it out and get it running, just so we can feel confident when we get someone else on the pod.
Maybe we could do it Tuesday night at a motel.
Oh,
11 p.m. specifically.
We can slap each other in the head. So what a pod. We've heard what different heads sound like when slapped on microphones. We've heard predictions for the year. We've talked about our favorite moments. I want to take a quick moment to thank all of you here today and all of you who are listening. Next year is going to be a great year. I can't wait to get a live pod going. Can't wait to meet some people. After we did, this was one of my honorable mentions that I bring up, the Cafe Smart event we did. Raised over like $5,000-$6,000 for homelessness, working with Lamazocco, Cafe Smart. We had Keep Cup jumping in there. We had Riverina. It was good getting everyone in there. And that thing was pumping. It was so nice to see how many people listen in, how many people are fans of the content that's being made to come down.
Vibe was electric.
I was going to say, it's my debut DJ set.
Yeah, K-Payne got on the decks. It was huge. We'll get her on the decks again when we do the next live pod.
Wait for the next one.
Which I think we have a date for.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to do the Sunday after Mice.
the Sunday after mine.
Yeah, so anybody and everybody can come. Whether or not it's ticketed, we'll find out.
Okay.
And if it's ticketed, it'll come with amazing bonuses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Liam, thank you. K-Payne, thank you. Sonam, thank you. And Kirk the barista, who isn't here, coughing up a lung, thank you. It's been a fantastic year. I mean, we've got to throw to the sponsor, but I think Sonam did such a good... Or maybe we'll have K-Payne because she knows nothing really about it. Let's see how her ad read goes.
Do you want me to do 30 seconds as well?
Yeah, Eco Barista. Oh, do you want me to pull it up? Are we going official here? Hang on, and go.
If you don't know where you're going in life, you should probably look up Eco Barista. Eco Barista will be there every step of the way. Even if you don't know that you love coffee, they're going to be there for you, reminding you that you love coffee and that it's eco-friendly to be a barista. So that being said, ecobarista.com.au, Shop now.
That was 21 seconds. All right. Sustainable products, coffee bags. You can get custom prints, cups, everything that you need for making coffee. Get 15% off your first purchase when you sign up to their mailing list at ecobarista.com.au. If you want to get in contact with us, if you have any guests that you want to see on the pod, if you got any hot takes that you want to do, shoot us an email at hello@itsjustcoffeepod.com. And you can also find us on all of the socials. Thank you for an amazing year. And as we say at the end of every episode, it's just coffee.
I've been here. Hey, we've got one more minute. You reckon we could get a bit of cappuccino on the way out, Rohan?
What?
Cappuccino.
Oh,
Celebrate.
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino, 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 cappuccino. Cappuccino, cappuccino, cappuccino. Cappuccino.
If you play this pod at 10:58 on New Year's Eve, you'll finish at cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
For those who don't know, we did a song called Cappuccino that was based on the Capybara song. Anyway, peace out.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
I was holding in a shit that whole time.
Really?
Please tell me you recorded that. Yes. Perfect. I was holding in.